Hey guys, guess what? Bonus theory! I'm Light Melody and welcome back to Fire Emblem Theory. The game is Awakening and today we are going to look at a theory I have seen floating around for a while and kinda wanted to see if I can make sense of it for everyone. And that theory is that the Morgans are actually twins. And I can hear all the people who know me in real life question, why am I talking about twins again? For this theory, we need a way to separate male and female Morgan because I'm not going to refer to both of them as male and female every time. So what I usually do is call male Morgan Morgan and female Morgan Morgana. It's very easy to tell who I'm talking about now throughout this theory. So most of these ideas come from the Future Past DLC. All three of these stories are one timeline, not three, not two, one linear timeline. And also, the twin aspect only exists in this one timeline. I will get to that part later. In the Future Past DLC, Naga sends Chrom and his army to help Lucina and her friends in this one alternate future. She sends them because this future is the most horrible future for these children. In the first part, the main boss is Morgan, and in the second part, the boss is Morgana. If you talk to Morgan with male Robin, he will simply run away in fear because you look a lot like Grima. Morgana will do the same if approached by female Robin. However, approach them with the right Robin and you get a lot more. You'll get an actual conversation. They both recognize Robin as Grima, at least for a second, until they said they were there to help Lucina. But Morgan and Morgana don't have the strength to fight them at that very moment. Robin says it's because they look like someone they care about. And to Robin, Morgan and Morgana look like someone special to them also. Before Robin can leave, they give them a book full of strategies. Morgan and Morgana asked if they wouldn't be worried they will come after them if they know their battle plans. Robin isn't worried because they know they wouldn't, and this is true. Morgan and Morgana say that they were given this book a long time ago by them, well, Grima, and says that they can kill innocent people and his friends, but realize what they did was wrong because they couldn't come to kill Robin. They know they were sent to stop Grima. They also know that they're their mother or father. Since they can't kill Robin, they say they can't deal with this guilt, so they can't go on doing this, and they retreat. Now the other Morgan that isn't your Robin's child simply retreats. We don't see them again, their fate is unknown, but when we get to the third part of the DLC, at the end of the ending where each of the children survive, Grima says Morgan has failed them. Well, when Cynthia's group arrives, they say Morgan failed them. And when Inigo's group arrives, they said the Morgan that they sent after them failed too. So how can there be two Morgans but only one Grima/Robin? Easy. Twins. Morgan and Morgana are twins. In this timeline, they are twins. How do I explain this? Well, first of all, let's talk about their possible siblings. Now, Morgan can be a single child or Lucina's brother. Those are his only options. I wish it wasn't because I really wanted more interactions between Morgan and Inigo, but one can dream. But not once do they talk about the other twin. No mention of Morgana or Morgan, because I'm sure if Chrom and Robin had more children, they would know. And so would Lucina because they would have grown up together. The same would go for Morgana and every other child unit that can be her sibling. They would only know of that specific Morgan. If their timeline had two Morgans, they would know something is wrong if there's only one. And the further proof of this is that in their possible ending, it's said in the future scholars speculate that they came from a different future than Lucina and her friends. But why does Morgan and Morgana remember their sibling even though Grima said they manipulated them to serve him? When you're dealing with alternate timelines, anything can change, but how much they change can be from drastic to very little. So they can have the same memories, but for that particular Morgan, since they lost their memory, they can't remember the other's face in that very moment with their sibling. Because they don't know about that sibling. They might have a feeling about it, but they don't know entirely what that feeling is or who that person is. It's literally a smudge on a picture and you can't tell what is there. But wouldn't Grima have been manipulating them from a young age? This could be true, but Morgan and Morgana said in the retreat after talking with Robin is that they couldn't kill friends that they were once close with. This will lead me to believe that after Crom's death, Robin was able to hold back Grima for a while at least. They try to be themselves, but they are considerably weaker after knowing that they are responsible for Crom's death. But I'm gonna get a bit dark in this part as to how they have the twins. If Robin is female and they were married, she was probably pregnant at the time of Crom's death, or a little bit after that event. Holding Grima back for a few years, Morgan was allowed to grow up for a while with all the other children. Around this point is when Robin gives Morgan that book of strategies. I'm guessing Morgan shared this book with Morgana too. Now, one or two things happened after a few more years, maybe around 6 to 8 years after Crom's death. I'm gonna talk about the first thing as the other can apply to both. Robin and her husband, if it wasn't Crom, were trying to defend against Rysens, trying to protect their twin children from them. But unfortunately, Robin was not watching her back when a Risen was about to attack her. Her husband saw this and took the hit for her, and unfortunately, this attack was fatal. They died in Robin's arms. And this was Robin's breaking point. This was the point Robin gives in and Grima takes over. Grima looks to the Risen and they stop attacking her. And then she looks to the twins and smiles. Smiles a demonic, evil smile. And take them and they twist their minds to serve her. If her husband was Crom, well, we will assume that Morgan and Morgana were raised exactly like the ones above, except one day, Robin and the twins disappear. No one knows where they are. Maybe the exception to this would be Lissa, as they would become close after Crom's death, but everyone else has no idea. She disappears because she can't keep Grima back anymore. Her will broke when they were in Plagia. Grima took over and decided to use the twins for their own benefit. Now let's go look at male Robin. Everything happens the same. His wife is pregnant, and they have the wife's child first, because everyone is more than likely older than Morgan and Morgana, and then they have the twins. Just like female Robin, they are keeping Grima back best as they can. Morgan and Morgana grow up with their friends, except Morgana gets the book of strategies this time. But how does Robin get a hold of the twins? Well, the Risen attack could happen to him and their wife dies, rinse and repeat, but not many things change in alternate universes. But this is the other option that could happen for both Robins. At some point, let's say if the wife has a future child, this child is with a friend and they are hanging out with that friend's parents and, of course, the friend. Morgan and Morgana were not invited because they aren't that close to those friends. They are probably closer to each other. Lucina is probably with Lissa and Owain if you're wondering about female Robin. The only possible thing that can happen here is that Grima, after this long time, takes control of Robin. Grima, being a smug bastard, pretends to be Robin anywhere from a day to a few hours. The wife or husband notices and asks if they are okay. Grima finally reveals who they are to them. They are shocked and surprised and try to get to the twins to protect them. They knew this day would come, but even still they had no clue what to do. Unfortunately, they would not reach the children in time. Grima would have caught them, stabbed them, attacked them, anything, just murdering them. In front of the twins, and in front of what remained of Robin's spirit inside of their body. Robin would have given for a couple years at that point. Grima would have taken the children with them and staged a murder. it would convince everyone they died then and there. The other children wouldn't remember much about Morgan, Morgana, or Robin, because by the time they are reunited again in that timeline, they are consumed by nothing but darkness. They can't be recognized, and Morgan and Morgana have no memory or any feeling of remorse for them, until you come to stop them. That is when Morgan and Morgana choose to go to the past. They choose to go stop this, to get back to their mother or father, their family, to be normal. But only one of them. Because one can break free completely from Grima's grasp, but the other cannot. They decide to go into hiding. Or they decide to go and kill themselves for disobeying orders, or after watching their master end in defeat. The other Morgan left in that timeline could do that. Or maybe one day returns to the daylight, wanting to make a change as well. Maybe they end up in Eastall, and maybe they run into the new shepherds. And maybe they see their long-lost sibling again, and reunite in peace. Okay, this was a long theory. It got dark at the end, I know, but it's one I wanted to cover because, well, I claim Morgan as my son. But Awakening's story just leaves a bit to the imagination, and this was one of them. Morgan was different from the others, but the twin things seemed to be plausible in a way. But most of this is just speculation and imagination, so I may be wrong on things. But if I am, point it out, and if you have a theory about the Morgans, leave it in the comments section. I hope you enjoyed this little bonus theory in celebration of the Morgans' birthday, which is also Children's Day in Japan and South Korea, so I hope you have a happy Children's Day if you celebrate it. Oh, and Cinco de Mayo, of course. Check out my channel for more Fire Emblem theories, or check out my cover songs from various anime and video games. Support me on Patreon if you wish, or if you just like my work, and maybe you can pick out the next video I create. And lastly, check out Tales of Fate on the HarmonyNet Studios channel for the lovely story that I've written in this war-written fantasy world, and the fantastic cast that we've had over the last 11 episodes, and with Season 1 coming to an end. Anyway, see you next time when we look over Cynthia.